Hello everybody, how are you? My name is Attorney Charles Zavala, your immigration lawyer. Our office is Zavala Texas Law. We're located here in beautiful Houston, Texas, but we can help you no matter where you are in the USA or even if you're abroad. Normally we do videos talking about immigration, criminal law, business stuff, and I try to digest it and give it to people in a way that they can understand it, because sometimes it's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. But if you like our videos, you can like, you can subscribe, visit our social medias, or you can even schedule a phone consultation with me personally. Phone number is going to be right there on the screen. All appointments are going to be with me via the phone, so it doesn't matter where you are. So today I have an interesting video. Actually, it's more of news that came out regarding immigration that is going to be pro-immigrant community. So it's going to be about the Employment Authorization Document. A lot of people call it a work permit, and how they've been automatically extended for people who are still currently waiting their renewal. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what is an Employment Authorization Document, aka a work permit, who qualifies, and what this extension actually means. So if you find this helpful, feel free to like, subscribe, send it to anybody you want to know, or just learn for your own sake. Okay. So if somebody, and I always like to give this example, little giraffe, right? Little giraffe is from another country, and they are here in the USA, whether they're in the USA legally, or they're applying for some sort of status or something. But what happens is, if you're from another country and you come to the USA, you do not have the right to work in the USA unless the government gives you permission, right? And the way the government gives you permission is USCIS, that's the government agency, United States Customs and Immigration Services. We'll just call them USCIS, it's easier. There's a government agency who's in charge for handling majority of the immigration processes that occur within the USA, right? So to get an EAD, an Employment Authorization Document, you have to apply for the government, and you do that on a form called I-765. If you have watched our videos, if you've ever applied for anything in immigration, you're going to notice all the forms have, they go by kind of code. You know, you have the I-765, the I-485, I-130, I-131, I-918. There's a bunch of different forms. But the one to apply for a work permit is called an I-765. So whenever you're applying for employment authorization, you have to fill out multiple forms. But part of that is you also have to say, hey, under what category are you applying for? Because it's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not you just say, hey, I want to work. Government, here you go, my application, and they give you a work permit. There has to be a law or a statute that legally authorizes you to work, right? Because if not, then the government will not give you a work permit, because they're going to say, look, you're not authorized. There's no law, there's nothing that allows us to give this to you. So you have to find under what category you apply for. And there's a bunch of categories, you know, and they all start with a letter and then a number. So you have, you know, if you have DACA, if you're applying for a green card through marriage, if you have a temporary protected status, if you are currently applying for asylum, if you are applying for a work permit depending through certain type of visas. There's different type of authorization documents you can get, but you just have to make sure you know the category well, because if you put the wrong category, it's going to put you in a different system, different evidence. If you don't have the evidence to back it up, boom, you get denied, you lose your filing fee, and you got to start all over. Okay, so that's what an employment authorization document is. So from the beginning, not everybody is eligible for one, right? That's why it's important to talk to a lawyer to find out, hey, are you eligible for any status? Or is there potentially a status that we can get you to where you can get your work permit? For example, we have had some people who have been here in the country undocumented for a long time, and technically they don't qualify for any sort of work permit because they're in the country without permission, and there's not an umbrella under the law that they are eligible for. But, you know, we can request a certain type of status for them. An example would be deferred status, and not everybody gets it. But if you do it, you now get what's deferred status, and now you can apply for a work permit under the deferred status category, right? But that's just to tell you what an employment authorization document is, an EAD, or you hear more people call it a work permit. But the sad reality is this. Let's say Jerry the giraffe has a work permit, a legal work permit, and it expires on January 1st of 2025, right? So what happens is, and I always tell my clients, we got to apply multiple months ahead, because USCIS, you know, I know they're trying to do a good job, but they move too slow. And what you don't want to happen is you apply for your work permit, and then you just sit there twiddling your thumbs waiting for them to approve your work permit, because Maybe your job says, hey, where's that work permit? I'm not going to keep on hiring you unless I see it, or things along those lines. So that's why I always recommend people, you need to apply multiple months ahead of beforehand just to get it in the system. But what's happening is this: USCIS realizes that they're taking a while to do this. So something they've been doing for a while now, and this is what the news is about, is so let's pretend, once again, the giraffe applies. When you apply with immigration, you will receive what's called an I-797C receipt. And all it is immigration, USCIS saying, hey, we received your application, we processed your filing fee, just sit down and wait. But recently what's been happening is in that same receipt, towards the middle of the application, I'm trying to see if I have any with me, but I don't think I do, it'll say, we've received your employment authorization document, we are automatically extending it for another 180 days while we are processing your application, right? So that's awesome, because what's happening is they're saying, look, we realize that things are taking a little bit longer than they should. So because of that, we are going to automatically extend it 180 days. And hopefully during those 180 days, it will get approved. We send you your card and then you're good. So that's the way it has been. However, this new thing that came out, I think was on Tuesday, they are now automatically extending it for 18 months. So instead of 180 days, which is about 6 months, they're doing it for 18 months, which evens out about 540 days. So that's over a year. So if you have a work permit that's expiring soon and you apply and you pay your filing fee to renew it, they will send you an automatic extension for 540 days. And that should cover you during the time period in which your application is pending. It shouldn't take that long to get it approved. It would be ridiculous if it does. I mean, the reality is we've had some applications approved within 2 months, so I don't see why it would take too long. But once again, I don't see what's going on there behind the scenes at USCIS. So I think this is great because I have a lot of clients who part of their process is every year or every 2 years they have to apply for a work permit. Or I'm sorry, not apply, they have to renew their work permit. No different than you and I have to renew our driver's license whenever we have to. But the thing is, imagine if we had to renew our driver's license and then wait 6-8 months until it comes, and during that time we can't drive. That's not very fair, right? Especially on us if we did everything right and did it on time. So I think this new kind of, not rule, but yeah, we'll call it a rule, that they issued out is going to be great, because there's a lot of clients or a lot of people who are applying for renewing and they're just sitting there waiting to get renewed and they can't go work because this is happening. So I think this is great. It's going to automatically extend people for 18 months, 540 days, and during that time your application should be approved. So if you have a work permit and you're renewing it, next time you get your I-797C receipt, don't just throw it away like most people do or just put it in a binder to say, oh, to know where I have it. Make sure you read it and see it in there if you got the 180-day extension or the 540-day extension. Because no matter which one you get, your work permit, even though it's expired, it's still legally valid as long as you have that paper that says you got that extension of 180 days and 540 days. So if you guys have any questions, if you have any bosses or your company's giving you some slack because of this and all that stuff, feel free to contact us. You know, we have been reaching out to a lot of companies, writing some memos explaining what this new USCIS rule is and how under the law they are still valid, and we've been able to help people still keep their jobs. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. Like I said, my name is Charles Zavala. I'm an immigration lawyer. We're here in Houston, Texas, but we can help you no matter where we are. Majority of our clients aren't even here in Texas. As long as you got a phone, email, we're more than happy to help you in any situation that we can. We hope you like these videos. Anything you need, feel free to reach out. I hope you'll have a beautiful weekend. And if there's anything y'all ever need, feel free to pick up the phone, call this phone number right here on the screen. I'm more than happy to help you. Thank you all. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.